Hi all, good evening. Hope my voice is audible to all.
Good evening, ma'am. Yes, you are audible.
But I see very few candidates, right? Like there were about 60 candidates who were supposed to join this session, but I see very less candidates. Is that the reason that we had a gap in between? Is that the reason? Or is there any drives or any festival going on? I don't think so. Any festivals are going on. Okay. So hope so that they'll be joining. So let us not, delay the session because, however, the session will be recorded. If in case they have missed the session, we will they'll be getting a recording. But to like for all of you who have joined, this is my like suggestion which I can say. The more you will be attending the live session, then more the knowledge you will be gaining it. So in the recording what will happen, I'm not saying that in the recording you will not understand or something like that, because ultimately it is the same thing will be recorded. But in the recording what will happen, there would not be that interaction. So simply you will play that and you will listen, and some disturbance in between, you'll just divert yourself, and again whatever the conversation will be happening, there would be a gap over there. So that is the reason I would always suggest that whenever the sessions are running, until and unless it is an emergency, you cannot attend. But in that case, you can just leave the session and you can do whatever the work you have. But other than that, I would always recommend, please do attend the live sessions. Okay. Yeah. So sorry for that. I couldn't take up the session in the last, like from Thursday, and it's like 2 3 days, because as I said, there was a medical emergencies at home. Currently I have 1.5 month baby. He's my son. So we had been like he like I have to take him for the vaccination. So soon after the vaccination, right, every child gets the fever and all. So that is the reason I couldn't manage up the timings to handle this session. So hope everybody understands that. And like whatever I'll be teaching it from today onwards, so everybody will cope up and accordingly plan, prepare well, and will be attending the next session. This is mandatory thing. When it is a holiday, I would not bother about it, but whenever it is a session, and before coming tomorrow, like before you attend the tomorrow session, I would always say this, that is initial 5 minutes, I would always address everybody. So that is the reason I would say that 5 minutes you utilize to revise this SQL. That is SQL is not something like Greek and Latin or something like too much of coding. No, it is very easy how I am speaking now. On the daily basis, what we do, like we store something in our brain, right? Like that the few data is stored in the system. Now if we have to retrieve, if we have to modify, if we have to do something with that, like if you take the example of contact, like when you're saving a contact, you save it in a different, like with the name. And there are multiple people, you add up few initials, a few, like school friend, the college friend, the engineering friend, or the degree friend. Like this you keep on adding up the data, modifying the data. Why? To whenever you want to access that data, it would be good for you to get that immediately. So like that, the database is something that it is very easy to understand. But as I mentioned, only having this thought, okay, it is easy to understand, I can anyway no just neglect it, whenever I want I'll just grasp. No, like that it cannot run. It requires some hands-on experience. So I would always say that before coming to the session, 5 minutes dedicate yourself, just read out the points, whatever notes however I'm sending. Because few always say, ma'am, whatever you're teaching I can understand, but whenever the interviewer is asking, I'm not able to answer the things because of my communication. See, one thing you understand, no interviewer will expect that you should have the American standard slang or the British English, nothing like that. Whatever you convey, he should understand. Even I am not I am not, in the professional level I'm not speaking, but whatever I am conveying, you are able to understand. 100%. That is the important thing which you should keep in your mind. Whenever you are conveying something to the interviewer, you should always first think in your mind, okay, these are the answers. I should convey this in a proper way, in a polite way. That's it. If you give that confidence in the interview, 90% you are in. Whether it is wrong or correct, it's the second matter. But how you tackle the interview is very much important. Have that only one confidence in you. Even though there are 100 students attending the interview, you are the one who will get selected. This confidence, if you have, definitely you will clear the interview. If you think in the other way, 100 students are there, will I get shortlisted to this company? Oh, I don't think so. Starting only, if you keep this negative point in your mind, definitely it is not possible. So have that in your mind. By saying this, I would start my class. Let me just share the screen. Then I would like to add on few points. I have shared a document that is data for queries. I hope everybody have got it in a group. Everybody are there in the group. Utilize your chat box response. Great. Yes. In that, there are certain queries. Let me just open that. See, I know, ma'am, what is this DDL or maybe DML? Many queries, they insert, many things are there. What is it all about? Currently, you will not understand this. These are the sample data which I have given to you. See, every time, if in case we have to write a query, already ready-made database should be there. We cannot sit in the session. Hardly the session is for 1 hour, and every time we create a new database and then type a query question for that. No, it makes senseless, right? So already one data I would give, that the complete database, you should just copy paste in your respective softwares, and then whatever question I give within this database only I'll give. Seeing the data, then you should write a query for it. So I'll come back to this only to tell you that this is required. I am showing you what is it all about, how we will be doing it, everything one by one I'll explain. Okay. Yeah. So here, so you will be testing database, you will be writing the queries. So how important it is, the long back you have understood. In the very first 2 sessions I told, data is a new oil. Anything you do, it is with respect to data only. So I would tell there are three layers in the system. I mean, any project. So I would consider this front end, middle end, and there is a back end, where the back end is nothing but the database. Yeah. So any application, if you see, there is something called as a login page, home page, like that. I would just consider this as a front page. Any application, if you open for the first time when you're logging in Facebook, so what happens, it will ask for the sign up or the login. Assume that sign up is already done, now you're logging in. Okay, so I'm just using the regular application which you use, so that you can have an idea about the things which we are discussing. So I will tell there is a name option, then there would be a password which it will ask for. For that, definitely a place will be there where you have to enter the details like this. Once after all that, once you give the details, there would be a button where you can submit it. Yes, whatever we are seeing in front of us, it is in a black and white form. But ultimately, when a front-end developer, the designer who designs it, will have the knowledge, and according to that, the front-end technologies he will use, and he will design this front-end page. Why I took up this point here is, many of you will think coding is the top-end technology. Without coding, nothing is possible. If you are thinking like that, I would tell no, all three layers are equally important. The front end designer, so you assume this way, very simple matter. In front of you, there are, I think everybody likes food. Assume that there is one person standing in front of you. I know soon it is a dinner time. Many of you will be already thinking what my mother is cooking in the kitchen, or if you're staying in the PG, will be thinking that, okay, what kind of food today they will be making up, or should we have to go outside and date? Many things will be running already in your mind. But keeping all that aside, just have this as an example only. So I would tell in front of you, there is one person standing, and he will be having like he will just show his both the hands, and where he will be keeping two plates of food. So right hand or left hand. So he will show in front of you, and he'll start seeing. I mean, he'll be showing you the plates. What is there in that plate? Maybe I would tell. In the right hand side of plate, there is a biryani. When I say biryani, it could be, if you are a vegetarian, it is a vegetarian biryani. If you are a non-vegetarian, assume that as a non-veg biryani. So in both the hands, there are biryani plates. Okay, both the hands there is a plates which consist of biryani. In the right hand, it looks, like smoke is coming out of that food. It looks somewhat fresh, and all the vegetables are, it's there in that plate. And it, like, it looks delicious. The moment you see that, you feel like, wow, it is very nice, I should immediately consume that. This is how you feel when you see the right hand side. I would come back to the left hand side, where the food is something like this. Instead of smoke, from that plate, assume that 2-3 flies are flying on that. It looks somewhat 3-4 days back it is prepared, and somewhat bad smell is coming out of that. Now you yourself imagine, when two types of plates are in front of you, one looks so fresh, and the other one looks, it is like prepared long back, and flies are flying, the bad smell is coming. Anybody here who will pick up that left hand food? People are different, no? Some people will say like, I am different, ma'am, I'll opt for the some. Anybody like that here? Definitely no. Whoever have the sense, definitely they'll opt for the right hand side only. So they'll say that, no, I will go with the right hand side, not with the left hand side. Why? Taste you have not tasted. By seeing what you did, which looks good, that is what you opted, right? That means, first, when you present your application to the customer, he will always see how it is looking. Then he will check up, like, whether my application, whatever my needs are there, whether it is working or not, the secondary part. The first thing is that, how it is designed, how it is presented in front of the customer. That is most important. Who will do that job? That is from the front end designer, who will have this knowledge of front end technologies. He will design that. So once he designs it in a proper way, that means the one layer duty is done. So assume that you have given some username. So I'll just tell username is given and the password is given. After that, you click on the submit button. Once you click on submit button, usually when you're logging in your to your application, immediately after a few seconds, a very minute seconds, what will happen? From one page to another page, there would be a transaction. Means there would be a conversion, right? It shifts from one page to another page. That is home page of that application, to moves from that, right? So if this is a login page, from here it should go to a home page. How it will go to home page? Is it that you are logging to your Facebook account, you gave your name, username and the password, and when you submit, is that your friend's application's home page came, or your application home page will come? Definitely your application's home page will be visible. So when you log into your Facebook account, do you think that your friend's account will get opened? No, in the feeds, whatever is there, it will come, but it is your account only, right? Who are your friends? All that feeds will come in front of you, but it doesn't mean that your friend's account has been logged in. That means somewhere this username and the password has been validated. I'm not going too much of technical here. I'm just giving you an idea how the application works of the full stack technology. So if somewhere this is has to be checked. So someone is doing a duty. What the duty is done? It checks. User has given some name, BGS. Already somewhere one name will be there. What is that name? In the database, in the tabular form, first time when you logged in, already name and the password will be stored. Few other details, email, all that will be there. I am just considering these two here. So like this, many users will be there who will be using, and their name and the password will be stored like this. Something like that. So assume these are the date inside the database, like this values are stored. Now, one person will take care internally inside your software. What that person or the software will be doing is, that will be checking that whatever user has given as a value, is that same as the value stored in the database. Yes. Oh, user is saying it is BGS, and BGS is the name stored in the database. Agree. After that, the value which I have in the password, whatever the password has been entered, suppose here I would tell the password is 123 only entered. In the front end, it will not be visible. But I would say that whatever is entered, while validating, it would be taken to a consideration. So this 123, whatever is entered, is it same as whatever whenever the login has been done, the sign up has been done, the data is stored, right? Is it same or not? Like this, it will validate. Once it is true, once it is a matching, then only the acceptance will be done, and immediately after that, one new page will be visible. That is only your home page. And once this is validated, this information will be sent to your front end, and in the monitor screen, you will be seeing that home page. So when you click on submit, so much of internal actions are taking place. So internally, all this is happening. Who is doing that? Your coding language, whatever you have, right? C, C++, Java, other technologies like this. Internally, the languages, the programming languages is doing this job. So hope so everybody are understanding till here. So front end, whatever is visible to you, that is technologies are taking care of it. Internally, if you click this, if you click that, if you click this, what should happen? That is taken by your coding. Then whether it is whatever the data you are handling there, the sign up data, credentials, the login credentials, all that important data, whatever you are having, images, photos, videos, whatever you upload in the Instagram, that is the image, videos, or the reels, whatever you upload, right? All are the types of data which we have. I mean, somewhere it is stored. That is the reason when you log in, it comes in front of you. So that data is stored in the database. Now, what we are learning is how we can create that data, how we can modify the data. So I'll just tell creation, modification, alteration, many activities on the data we are doing it. So in other words, if we have to do this using the front end or using the coding languages, it is not possible. We want SQL, that is query language only. NoSQL, SQL, two types are there, means relational, non-relationals are there. But currently, try to understand about the relational so that you can make a differences between them first. Okay. So having this idea, let us go back. Again, a few are facing the issue of installing the software. If you already have installed, I tried up to help few students who are facing the issue, but again there are many students, and even I was not able to give time to help you out with that. But few who are using of the older versions, or there are some versions compatibility issues with the current systems. If you have that, I suggested to log in or use the updated version only. But when you're installing the 21C, just have this idea, it is not the same how we are installing the Oracle 10G. The one installation demo which I gave, it was for 10G. Having that as an idea base, if you try to install the 21C, it is more than sufficient. But again, I have not installed. If I have to install in my system, then I have to uninstall this 10G first. Then if I have to uninstall 10G, then I have to take up the lot of data which I already have as a backup. Then I have to be doing that. So I could not make that. So I am just planning to have that in a different system. I will check it out how the things works in the 21C, because I have not installed and checked how the things work over there. But if you have installed, it is well and good. But whether it is working or not is what you have to check it. So let me have, I'll check it today or by tomorrow, I maximum in a different system. I'll try it out whether it is how we have to be doing it. If you are unable to do it, just keep it pending for just 1-2 days. If you have already installed, well and good. Other example, like other option which I can give you until you install is that online we get many online the softwares to execute queries. If you just type SQL query executors compilers, you will get it. So just for 2-3 days, I'm not telling, I will never suggest that you should use online commands for command lines for execution. No, because you should be working on the data. Every time you cannot execute the data query first, then you should execute the query. No, it is a tedious task for everyone. Only for next few days, if you are unable to install the software, I would suggest please go take the help of the online editors. Okay, if you have already installed, start working on that from today only. Never leave that. At least if your friends are there who couldn't install it, you are nearby with them only, at least share your systems. That is what I can say. Okay, yeah, coming back to the class, I would show you one table, a sample table. We will never create the tables like this. There are certain rules. I hope everybody have heard. Maybe you don't know what is the things. You would have heard about this 100% primary key, foreign key. Yes or no? Again, few would be knowing it. I'm not saying no, but I would just to make sure that the clarity from my end, I'll be giving what is primary key, what is foreign key, because I have seen this. Most of the students, they know what kind of question will be asked in the interview, but they don't know what is the answer they should give for that. That is the problem of current situation students. That is the reason from my end, I will definitely make sure, because whenever I'm taking the sessions, I want all that candidates to be good in that technology. Whether I'm teaching the other technologies like Java or the programming or the SQL dot, it is up to me. Like, but when I take up all the candidates, I would always remember that it is my duty that everybody should listen and should learn the technology end to end. So there should be no doubt. That is the reason I told be engaged in the group. Whoever will be responding, you have to immediately quickly respond to that. And I appreciate most of you are doing it. Most of you are responding there. No, this is not like this. You can do this. I can see many suggestions. I feel very good that people are engaged, are giving their answers. And others who are just sitting silently at one end, if I say something, people will laugh at me or do this or do that. Remember one statement: the baby which cries will only get the milk. In other words, the same thing applies to you. If you go to the interview, 5 students are there, all 4 will sit silently. They see it's by seeing the interviewer, and the one who answers responds to the interviewer will only get the job. The same thing applies to you. You should be that, whether it is wrong or correct, second, the whatever thoughts come to you, you respond there. Ultimately, nobody is, giving you jobs in the WhatsApp group. Ultimately, they are just correcting you. Okay. Yeah. One of your friend is asking, ma'am, is the syntax of query on Oracle and on MySQL is different? Not most of the queries, like, yes, there is a few differences are there, but almost it is similar. I don't think so. There is a lot of differences and you feel difficult in that. Slight changes are there in few queries, I feel. I think when I'll be doing it, I'll guide you accordingly. In this, it is different. In this, I'll give an options. You will get to know. But I think it is no much differences are there. You can still go with the MySQL when I'm doing with Oracle if you're comfortable with. Okay. Yeah. So today let us understand the creation of the table, how to insert it. I am not teaching you like line by line, okay, like this only, like this only. One sample example I'll give, then I'll come back with the constraints immediately. So for that, I want your attention here. I hope everybody had like left all your job and listening to me without any diversion. Yes, everybody are here. Quickly respond. Keep all your mobile phones aside. If you're listening in your mobile phones, all the other notification off, and you have to be there throughout the session next half an hour. Never just convey all your people at your home. If you're at your home, just tell them that you are busy for half an hour and just listen to the lecture without any diversion. Yes. Yeah. As I have mentioned here, there are two tables in front of you. One is worker table and worker details table. Okay. You have the column names. So see, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. I'll just first consider worker table. So when I say table, the moment I say table, in your mind, that tabular format comes into picture. What does table consist of? It consists of rows and columns. I hope that point is clear to everyone. And also, table consists of some name, table name. Table name mandatory, we should be giving up. Okay. So let me just firstly create it. So just do observe. I think Oracle is open. Yeah. So I'm using the Oracle. I have shown you on the previous day how to open. If in case still doubt in the Oracle opening software, I would suggest just quickly revert back to your first two videos and refer to that. Okay. Yeah. So now I would create a table. What is a command to create a table? Directly, I cannot tell, oh, please create the table. Your machine will not understand, right? You should guide it accordingly. See, assume your machine as a baby. When you're speaking to your friend, how properly you speak however you want. Hey, you give this, you give that, like directly you speak, right? When you're speaking with a baby, you don't speak like, hey, come here, hey, go here. You don't speak like this. You change your tone completely. Come here, Pau, you sit here. The way you speak to a baby is so different, so that your baby understands each word you speak. Correct? Machine is also like that. Few softwares will not understand every language you speak. So for that software, whatever language it understands, you should speak in that. For that, I would now tell, I should convey this Oracle software to create one table. So I'll tell just English, create. Ma'am, this create should be in the uppercase only or lowercase only. This is case insensitive. You want to tell create in the uppercase, you can tell. You want to tell in the lowercase, you can tell it in the lowercase. There is no rules in that. As a standard, we write the commands, the query in a uppercase. So I'm writing it in this way. So I'll tell create. What to create? I have to create what? A table. So I'll tell table, and upon that I should give a table name. If I'm not wrong, I have given the sample syntax on the previous day. Hope everybody remembers that. See here, create table. This is the sample general syntax. This is how we create. And table, after that table name. most of you will remember this 100%, at least in your lifetime you would have created once. If you have not created, it's well and good, because people will learn from scratch. But if you have already learned, people will make this mistake. For create, no, they'll tell only create, CREAT, because they are in hurry, they know how to create and they just want to execute it. No, you have to make sure the spellings are correct, because I would always see this mistake, people doing it, and they put up that screenshot in the group saying, ma'am, I have written everything, but output is not coming. Long back I told, no, system is not angry on you to give what. If you write correct also, it will not give wrong. If you write something wrong, then only it will tell error. So remember that a system will never become angry on you. It is you who will make it angry. So understand it. You should always write it in this particular way. So create a table, and what is the table name you want to give? I would tell the table name which I want to give is worker. Spelling, if you have given worker like this throughout your complete execution, you should remember, you should be writing it in the same format. I reiterated, create table. If you have told worker, ma'am, this uppercase or lowercase, no rules for that, you can still go with that. But always the, it is a noun, right? Worker, employee, that whenever you are giving that information, the first, it's a name which you are giving, so the first letter should be capital, the other can be a lowercase. No, I will write everything in uppercase. It's up to you, no problem, your machine will not do anything with that. So till here, anything, any case you can give, no problem in this. You want to give everything in lowercase, please give everything in uppercase, you can. But as a standard, the regular command, we write it in this way, and the user, whatever user is giving that name, we write it in a proper way. Usually this is how they write it in the industry. Okay, so the table name is given in coding language, wherever you use this flower braces, here the simple brackets will be using. Okay, see here it is a simple bracket. Since you have the habit of using flower bases, most of you will by mistakenly will write that, or you will use the flower bracket. So I am telling it. Remember, while writing the SQL commands, you have to use the simple braces. Okay. After writing this, I have to tell this just creates the table. Like if I have to execute this, I have to select and run. Suppose I have only one query, no other query, only one set of query. So I'll not select, I'll just run. When I run, it still executes, whether it is wrong or correct, that is secondary part. I am trying to explain you. Only one query is there. You can, without selection, if you just tell run, it will run. It will execute. Okay, but if you have n number of queries, then you should select which query to execute and then run. Okay, so it is saying invalid identifier. Means you are just telling, please create worker. Inside worker, how many columns you want? What type of columns you want? What type of value you will create? That information also I should say no, because I am now telling, please create one place. It should be in the tabular form. That is what I am telling. And the name of the tabular form is worker. Okay, till here your machine is fine. But inside that, what is that I should give? That also I should inform, right? Then I would tell inside that I want to create one column. Please see this sample syntax, column 1, column 2, column n, means whatever column names I have, I should first give that. In Java, how do? You first write data type, then you will create what? The column name you will give, I mean the variable name you will give. Here it is reverse. You should first give the column name or the variable name. So I would just go back to that. I'll tell I want the column ID first. Okay, So I will now write ID in the lower case. Please observe everybody. ID in the lower case. What is the data type I should be giving? Still, I have not spoken about the data types in SQL. So you don't know, you have zero knowledge about the data types here. So until we go to that particular session, don't worry, assume this way. Whenever I have integer values, the numbers, I will just use int or numbers. For current example, I'll just use int if it is the digits. Then if I have the characters, sequence of characters or string value, I will use this way. This the function that is varchar2, the data type function here like this. Okay, so I'll speak about it. What is it? Why varchar2? Why not varchar? All that we will have the different session. But as of now, if it is a string value, I'll be going with this. If it is the numbers, I'll be going with this. So I'll tell ID comes with the numbers. So I'll just tell 1. I mean the int here. When I say this much, I will not stop here. If it is only one column, no problem. I will just select this and run, but I have multiple columns. So if I have to have multiple columns, I cannot say full stop. I should be saying comma here. Means you're telling your machine few more columns are there. Ma'am, can I write in the same line, ID, int, and so on in the same line? 100% you can do, but this gives more readability form. When you do some mistakes, you can easily identify if you write like this. So only I would always suggest write it like this only. Okay, ID done. Next column is what? Name, age, salary, branch. So I'll just tell name, age, salary, branch. Each time I should be peeping into that. That is the reason first only I have written. Okay, so name is nothing but a sequence of characters. I told you, whenever it is a sequence of characters, until I speak about data types, go with this. And within this, I will give value, how many characters, maximum characters you will be using. Maybe some names will be 25 characters, 20 characters, like that. So I'll just tell 20. And what if the name crosses 20? Will it accept? Will it not accept? This kind of question should come to your mind. If it comes to your mind, 100%, I will not give the answer to that. It is your own responsibility to check by creating the table. How you will gain more knowledge. If you ask me, I will give the answer, but will you try it out? No, you will never try it out. So will it work? Ma'am, if I write like this, will it work? This kind of questions I'll never appreciate. If you have some doubt why it is not like this, for that question I may give answer. But will it work kind of question, I will not give answers. It is your own responsibility. You have to work on that commands by writing it in your command lines. Okay, that by writing like that only, you have to improvise yourself. Yeah, coming back to the age, I will go with the int. You should never forget that comma. If you forget comma, again your machine will not understand. Okay, so remember that. Salary, again this for currently the ma'am, it could be float value also. No, still I have not spoken about the float data types, so I'm making it easy. Until we reach to that, we will only consider these two types. Many types are there, I'll speak about it. And branch maybe the place name, Bangalore, Mysore, all that. So varchar. Ma'am, what if there is a Gmail, or I mean mail's ID? Mail could be a combination of both numbers as well as the digits. Which data type should I have to go with? Still you can go with the var character, but again I would mention that data types separate discussion I'll do, so need not worry. Currently we are learning about table creation. Yeah, so branch, maybe I'll give it as 10. This is the last table name, so I'll not give comma. Ma'am, I'll give comma. What will happen? You please check that. There would be error message, that's it. So you can check all that alternatives. Now I have created, I have written a table creation command. I will run. Can you see this? It says a table created. Time duration is this. Maybe I want to see whether really it is created. If this command is given, the result is given, that means the table is created. I'll just go to the table. It says that the create table is a statement which is given, all that. So there should be a, okay, I have not used constraints. Okay, I'll just go back. The further things I'll explain. Now the table creation I have done. This most of you will be knowing it, the basic syntax. The question is that, ma'am, is this the way we should create the table? No. Why? The answer is no, because see, whenever we are creating the tables, a set of rules are there, set of protocols are there. Why that set of protocols? You only assume in one table 100 columns are there. Will you feel comfortable to read the table? What I'm saying is, like this, we have Soman Sarkar is asking for int, no need to provide 10, 20. No, not required. Int as a certain limit, integer data type. So again, I'll speak about the data types in separate class. For your question, direct answer, no, not required. Okay. Yeah, so where I was, okay, let me just go. In this worker table, as of now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 tables. Is the screen visible to all, the paint screen? Yeah. So 5 columns are there. For me, it is very easy. I can easily read that. Okay, these are the tables. Now, for this, I will attach a few, like maybe 30 more columns. Don't you think the readability, the understandability, okay, leave about this. Ma'am, what is the problem? Your machine is storing. I am not storing the data. Whenever I'll ask, it will give. Okay, it will give. But if you have more columns in one table, for you to write a query, it becomes tedious task. Not only that issue, along with that, there would be a problem. There would be a data misused, or I can say there would be a data duplicacy in a table. Same thing you would have written multiple times. In other words, to create a table also, there is a set of rules and regulation. What is that rules and regulation? That is only constraints. Primary key, foreign key, not null, unique, like check, default, like this constraints we have, certain rules we have. So we should understand that constraints and then create the table. Okay, so what is that constraint? I have to speak about the constraint in one complete session. So now I'll hold on that complete and I will come back to the insertion of values. So this is the basic syntax. Should I have to create like this? No. Before I create the table, I should think about the rules and regulation. That rules and regulation we will understand in the tomorrow's class. But let us go with the insertion of value. Now, if I have to put the values inside this table, there is a command. I would tell the general syntax, insert general syntax. So insert into, to which table you want to insert? I'll tell worker table. What is that you want to give? I want to give values. Like this, I'll tell, I'll put a semicolon at the last. It still works if you don't give the semicolon also, but it's a standard if you write it, okay? Now, insert into worker values. How many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then there should be 4 segregations like this. The first value, what is it? Ma'am, can I interchange? I told first column is ID. I'll give the name. Will it be possible? No, you should never do that. Whatever orders you have given, the same orders you should declare it here. So I'll tell the first value is 1. Integer value ID number 1. What is the name? Name, I would tell the name is nothing but Krishna. And this Krishna is nothing but a sequence of characters, varchar, means a string value. I'll enclose this with the single quote. Next, age, maybe I'll tell 25. Whenever you have a sequence of characters with the numbers, suppose I'll tell like this. Even then, if you have the string, immediately enclose that with single quotes, not with the double quotes. Your Java is in with the double quotes. In SQL, it is single quotes. Okay. So the values are done. Next, the age is done. After that, I have a salary. Maybe I'll tell salary is 60,000. Then I have the varchar, that is branch. Branch again, value, maybe I'll tell Mysore, like this. So one thing you are understanding, whenever you have sequence of characters, you should enclose that with the single quotes. Okay. So suppose, no ma'am, I will not enclose within the single quotes. What will happen? If I do this, what will happen? I gave you the answer long back. For this kind of question, please try. I'll run this. Can you see the information here? One row is inserted. Okay. Okay, let me just give you a simple scenario. I'll remove that single quote there. I'll tell 2. Sorry, 1 second. So I will now move on with the second. Data, age 25, same salary I'll maintain. But for the varchar, that is branch, I'll remove the single quotes. Then I'll select, I will run. Can you see? Column not allowed here. What is expected at the last is a branch, which is of types string. But what is that you're giving? You're giving like an integer. This type I cannot see. This type I cannot accept. Please give it in quote only. This is what it is saying. See, all this permutation combination, when you try only, you will get this doubt. And I explain to see this, how easy it is. Oh, only this one you should tell. Oh, only this much you should tell. But when you are writing a query in the interview, that time you will get a doubt. Should I have to write like this? Should I have to write like that? So don't do trial and error in the interview. Whatever trial and error you have, you do it now only. Okay. So basically, we have inserted 2 values, one table we created, and for the 2 values we have inserted. Now I should see whatever values I have inserted really got stored inside that, or I want to view that table. How to do? Very simple clause or the command I should be giving. I should tell select. When I say select, the next thing it will ask, what is that you want to see? Maybe I'll tell, please give me the information of ID. If I say ID, don't you think ID could be there? That ID column will be there in many of the tables, in worker table, in employee table. Shashi Sharan is asking, can we write values in the single line? Yeah, you're asking me, is this way? 1 Krishna 25, 60,000, Mysore, and the second value 2 Aarti 25, like this in the single line. Yes, we can still write that way. For that, few more experience, like few more commands you should understand. Post that, I'll again reiterate about that in session. Okay. Few more rules are there. Once after that, I'll show you that way also. But until that, I want individually to insert the values currently. Okay. So few problems also we face when we are inserting the values in single line. So keep that aside. First, when you're learning, I want everybody to try out this way only. Yeah. Select ID. When I say ID, it could be in n number of table. I should give from which table. So I'll use the clause from which table? Worker table. If I say this much, do observe. See, it is giving me only ID. No, along with the ID, I want name also. I will, ma'am, there is a red line, means there is an error. No need to worry. If you get any error message here, then only you worry. See, ID name Krishna. Like this, I will give age. No, I'll not give age. I want branch first. You are not altering the data. You are just viewing the data. Whenever you are using select statement, remember this statement, what I'm saying, you are just viewing the data. View means only seeing the data. You're not editing the data. Okay, so I'll run. ID is there, name is there, branch is there. So don't think only 3 columns are there in this order. What you're doing already on table is there, certain columns are there. From that you are retrieving and seeing only this much. Okay. If I do like this, keep on typing each and every column. Assume there are 10 columns. I cannot sit and type, no. I want all the columns. For that, we have the asterisk, that is star here. If I say star, all is the meaning. Means select all the tables from worker. Select all the columns from the worker. I will run. Is that clear? In the command line, if you are getting a red line, need not worry. The query will still work. Whenever you have the data certain with the columns, the formation of statement will be wrong. So it will say red, but it's still the query works. So need not worry. Okay. Many a times question will be there to retrieve only name. That time you should never use star. You should always read the question first. Then you should execute according to that much only data you should give. So few people will be there, whatever query they ask, they always write the star for every query. No, first read out the question, what is their requirement, only that data you should give. So till here, any doubts are there? Ma'am, every time we need to select the query to run 100% file, we have to be using, because see, n number of queries we have written for. Currently we have a create statement, insert, then select, right? I'll just tell run without selecting. Invalid character, what to run? There are many things. For your SQL command, I have create also, I have insert also, all are executable commands. Which I should execute? Please tell me. That is what your machine is now worrying about it. So which you want to execute? If none of this informations are there, suppose all this other statement is not there, only this is there, then without selecting you can run. Means only one query is there, without selection you can run. But if you have n number of queries, you should select and run. Clear? Yes. So before we proceed ahead with the other concepts of this one, that is SQL, will it be possible you to try with, can we write the whole select statement in one? Yes. See, I told you, right? This everything can be in one line. Now whatever you are seeing is only this much, select and from clause. Going ahead, we will be writing it select from where many clauses are there, we will be using that. So if there is if that order is maintained, the readability will be good. That is the reason I have written it here. So as a day's procedure, you will also understand. Good that you're asking. So for today, I want everybody to create these two tables in your system. How I have given worker table and worker, two different tables. I want you to try the same columns, names, the same way to write it in your systems and execute. When you're executing, whatever this is viewed, no, this one, this part you should put it as a screenshot in your respective groups, so that I would come to a conclusion you have tried and you have got the output. Ma'am, I will try with a different table. Very good, please try. Ma'am, different columns. Very good, please try. But before that, first try with this. Once you try few tables, then you can try with your own table, student table, employee table, library table. It's up to you. Book table. Try on. How many tables you will try? It is good for you only, right? You'll get a hands-on experience. This is one. this is the first assignment which you have to complete it before coming tomorrow. The second one, I have shared one document, right? Data for queries in your respective groups. What I want is, after doing that first assignment, I repeat, after you complete that, then only you should go with this. What you should do, you should select this command, go to the SQL editor here, come back, or you can do the other way, just select all, paste it here completely. After pasting, I want you to select execute one by one. Every line you have to execute, but out of that, few understanding you should try to get here, where there is a semicolon, that is till there only one query. So after this, individually you have to execute these 3 queries. Coming back here, the command line we will write in the SQL in this way with the hyphens. Okay, so don't execute this, only queries you should execute. So this one, create till semicolon, you have to select and run. Then don't execute this command line, create from there. Ma'am, what are these things? Why it is so many things are there? I don't know what is. Don't worry, I told you, right? I will explain you what are this. But select run. To explain that, few databases are required. I cannot each time tell you to create table, then do alternatives and all. So first let us have the data ready. So like this, if you do all the commands, so to avoid confusion, few people, what they'll do, they'll try to run this and they'll get a call. They'll start speaking on the call. They'll forget that they have marked this. So what they'll do, again they'll come back and again reselect and run. So two copies will be there that time. So no, the data when you are giving, it's only I told, data is new oil. When you're copy pasting, even though that duty you are doing, you should do properly. Hardly takes 5 to 10 minutes of your time. So you have to do this. Ma'am, if I do this, what is the advantage? What is the advantage? I'll tell you. Suppose here what we have, the table departments. So I have already done it in my system. So I'll just tell select star from departments. I think the departments, the same name. Departments. So same thing I have to carry. Ma'am, I'll give it in the lowercase. Yes, you can still give it in the lowercase, no issues. Table name. I'll run. See, all this data has been already mentioned. From where? Using this command, I have already executed in my system. So this table is ready. Like this, employees also is there. So let me just run that also. All this data we will be using. Now I cannot tell each time to sit and type this data to execute, no. So I would tell, once if you do it today, tomorrow the queries which will be executing, it will help a lot for us to write a query based on this. Okay, so while writing or while executing, you should make sure you do it properly, even though it is copy paste work, but do it properly. Okay. There are a few people who are asking, Anjali is asking, ma'am, why we are using varchar 2 in place of varchar? I repeat again, data type separately I'll take. I'll explain you what is varchar, how we should be writing all that. Okay. Prashant Kumar is asking, ma'am, suppose that I have created multiple tables. I want to see the list of tables and how I will check. Yeah, we still have the, I think we have the views over there, or we can merge, join the tables and check it out and all. We will come back to that. Okay. Show tables. Then what is the other doubt? Oh, so we can use alphanumeric values and some symbols. Alphanumeric values, you can still go with the varchar. Okay. See, I told you, right? Don't worry about the values. We have a date type also, how to do it and all. Data types separately I'll take. Today, the concentration is completely about creation of table, inserting the values. If these tables are created in your system, then we will get one knowledge, so that we will, for tomorrow onwards, we will write a query based on this table. Okay, you know right off, I mean, like, you need not to worry about the tables. I have given the commands. Please check your WhatsApp. I have shared the details there. The complete this thing I have shared this completely. Just copy paste in your Oracle, then run. Everything comes automatically over there. Money, if you're not in the group, please ping me up so that I will share you, or you can ask Ashush sir for that. Okay. I have shared my number to you. Please ping me up so that I can share it to you. Ma'am, suppose I have 50 columns. Out of that, if I want to print 25 columns at that time, star will work. Star means completely. If I want to put some restriction for the columns, I should change my query. Good question, Sumati. We will learn that also. Need to create all tables by own, ma'am. So I told you, need not create. Currently, this one you can copy paste. This one you have to create it on your own. These two, you only write and create. So clear? Is it clear to everyone? You are understanding what I'm conveying, everybody? Is it boring what I'm conveying to everyone? Boring, not boring. At the end of the course, I'll get to know, so that when you get placed, if you don't tell me that you have got placed, no, then also I'll tell. I'll catch up everyone. So only thing is, your placements is major requirement. For your major requirement, what I have to do from my end for the SQL part, I'm doing, because currently I'm handling only that for you. So make sure from your end, this is just a 5% knowledge which you are getting for entire course. So other two technologies which you are learning, make sure you make a time and learn those things. As the days proceeds, the concepts gets enlarged. You cannot make time for yourself. So you only imagine. I also have a kid 1.5 months. So if I'm making my time to teach you, then you imagine for you also, you get a lot of time. There are many working women in this group. There are many working professionals, that is, people are there who are working in the morning and then attending this session, who are working in the night shift, then attending this session. So if you're dedicating so much, you decided that you want to change your career, then only make your mind, only all these struggles are only for few days. There is no shortcut for success. Backdoor entry is there, ma'am, I'll go run for that, ma'am, that is there, I'll go. No. What you will do after going into the company if you don't have knowledge? Knowledge is the only one thing where nobody can steal you from that. Okay, so as much you learn, you become rich in the knowledge. So every day it's a learning step for you. Don't think that today I learned so many things. No, every day you should keep on learning each and every technology. Full stack tester, full stack developer to be called. Then you imagine how many technologies should be running in your mind. And don't think that so much I should keep in your mind, ma'am. So much is there. How can I do that? Never have that burden feeling in your mind. It is so simple. Why should I leave that? I will learn this also. I will learn that technology also. Like this, have the hunger to learn the technology. Okay, hope so that everybody will be reading the technologies, I mean learning the technologies as soon as possible, and you will be getting placed as soon as possible. This is what I hope from everybody's end. I wish that also from for everyone. So remember, only one key to everything: revision. Every day revision is mandatory for every technology, not only for a SQL. I'm telling every technology. Revise, make your time. When I say revise, don't sit for morning till evening and revise. No, just 15 minutes for one technology. How much it is possible, just revise. Then take a break. Then after some time, just take a break and then again come back and revise. Okay, you are working. Okay, instead of chatting with someone, instead of watching the reels, you go through some documents to take a picture of notes and go. When you are free, just read it. For revision, it's not like you should sit in separate place and read. No, when you're discussing with your friend, see, there is one technology like this SQL, in that like this data, you explain your friend only in your office. He will also learn. Maybe he's not interested, it's okay. You just write it in a pen, in a paper, take a pen and paper, write it on your own. Something you learn, something you revise. You can make your time only if you want. If you don't want, for somebody's sake, if you're just attending, makes no sense. Whatever you're doing, do it for 100%. This is what I can tell for everyone. So if I am giving my time to you, I would definitely want everybody to get place as soon as possible. So I would always say, leave every job of yours and listen to me, so that I am giving 100%, you also give your 100%. Okay, yeah. So by saying this, I'll conclude for today's class. Let's all meet tomorrow. Tomorrow is important topic constraints we will be understanding. So make sure every other duty you will leave it aside. 7 o'clock sharp, you will be there in the session. Okay. Yes, then. Have a great night. Thank you. Let's all meet tomorrow. I will share that table diagram also. You can just create it on your own. So all the documents I'll be sharing it. Let's meet tomorrow. Take care.